Hey guys, Underground Geek here. So pretty interesting what's going on Twitter right now with that Magdalene Visaggio or whatever her name is, bad mouthing diversity in comics. But that's not what I'm actually wanting to talk about today. Something that's been going on lately in DC that's been bothering me is 3D models in the comic books. A lot of people talks about Marvel this, Marvel that, Marvel sucks, blah blah blah. Their art sucks. It seems here lately that DC's been really hit and miss on their art. Now, there's a lot of things that I love about DC Comics, but Batman here lately with the 3D modeling has really turned me off from buying their comic. Like if I go look on the comic shelves and I see Batman number 27, Batman number 28, and they've got 3D models of the characters on the cover, you can about bet I'm not buying that comic, because I know when I open it up it's going to look like a computer generated comic. Like if I wanted to read a web comic, I would get on the internet and read a web comic. I want to see something that it's at least drawn or looks like it's drawn on a computer. I mean, I don't want to look at something that looks like almost like mid-2000s Saturday morning cartoons like Reboot or something. I wanted to look at a comic that looks like it's hand-drawn, or at least done on a computer that fools me into thinking it's hand-drawn. And Batman here lately has been really hit and miss, because when I look at things like All-Star Batman, it really shows what you can do in the comics right now, and Detective Comics, Action Comics, Superman, things like that. It really lets you know what they can do. So when they come out with something like Batman 27 and Batman 28 with this whole Joker versus Riddler story, which is not really that interesting anyway, but then they come out with these 3D models, and I mean, I just don't like it. Tell me down in the comments what you think about it, but it's just like what I said before. If I'm going to read a comic, I want it to look like a comic, not like a 3D model that's on a computer that you would flip through a web series or a cheap phone video game, and some people might think it is nitpicky, but in this day and age, when you have all this technology and you have all these artists out there, thousands of artists out there that can draw, it really kind of, there's no excuse for having that kind of stuff now. I mean, maybe I'm being too picky. Maybe that's just the way comics are going and I just need to get used to it. But I can go ahead and tell you I'm not. I'm going to go read other comic books like All-Star Batman. If you hadn't read All-Star Batman, look at issue number 6, I believe, with Mr. Freeze, which is one of the coolest comics I've ever read, because Batman goes after Mr. Freeze, and Mr. Freeze has a full-on army of zombies, ice zombies, and I thought I was reading Game of Thrones. I mean, it was stinking awesome. I mean, issue 1 all the way through of All-Star Batman has been great. Now, the Batman Rebirth story is starting to go the wrong direction, I can go ahead and tell you. But All-Star Batman and Batman Dark Days, I mean, they're where it's at right now. But yeah, just go ahead and tell me in the comments what you think, and tell me if I'm way off, tell me if I'm onto something. But yeah, I just had to kind of get that out there to talk about that, because I remember when I was younger, stories like Nightfall and Detective Comics, things like that. The 90s art I really like. I don't know if you've seen 90s Ghost Rider comics with the neon colors on the front, and some of them be like hull full letters. I will buy some of those comics just for the covers. Like if I go into a comic store and I'm looking around, I'll buy them just on the cover, and I'll put that cover up on a rack or something to display just because I like it. Spawn, I'll go buy a Spawn and not even read the comic and just like the cover so much, and then I'll go back later and read it and see what I think about it. But that really is what pulls me in. I kind of think of comics as art, and when you go the cheap route and do these 3D models, I really get kind of offended. Like I'm thinking you're shortchanging me a little bit. So that's one of the reasons it bothers me. But moving on, there are a lot of good comics out there, so I'm not just going to shut DC completely down. But I do want to open the doors on the conversation about them a little bit too, because I feel like they've been getting a free pass here lately with all that's been going on in Marvel. And because let's just face it, Marvel is on a one-way trip to Failsville. I mean, they're going to do something before long that is going to hurt them so bad to where they're just going to have to do something different. And they're never going to go the route. I don't think they're ever just going to say, hey, guys, we messed up. They're going to keep making one or two good storylines to keep themselves going, and then they're just going to pump out 100, 200 stories at a time because they've got that Disney money now, and they're just going to keep going. But DC, you know, they're not perfect. They've got Batgirl right now, which is like the most terrible story they've ever had. But I mean, it had a selfie on the cover. I mean, that's all you need to know about that. But then you've got All-Star Batman, which is just great, and Detective Comics right now is great. Action Comics is great. I love the fight going on with Zod right now. Then you've got Dark Days coming out with Dark Knight's Metal or something like that, Batman Dark Days Metal or something. I'm really looking forward to that. I follow Scott Snyder on Twitter, and he's always teasing it, and I mean, I can't wait till that comes out. But yeah, I just want to kind of open up the conversation about that and see what you guys think. So let me know in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and I hope you liked the video. All right, thanks, bye.